This episode of Distraction is sponsored by Landmark College, offering comprehensive support for students with learning disabilities, ADHD, and ASD. Learn more at lcdistraction.org. Landmark College, we teach differently. This is Dr. Ned Hallowell, and welcome to Distraction. Today I have one of my favorite guests. You've heard her before, but you can never get enough of her. A clinical nurse specialist trained in cardiology, but also trained in the world of ADHD, in part because she has it herself, but also in part because she works with a wide range of clients whom she helps learn how to master life with this fascinating condition. And she's also written a book about her own journey with ADHD that I will let her tell you about. Welcome back to Distraction, Kristin.
Thanks, Ned. So, yes, I am a clinical nurse specialist at Washington University at Barnes-Jewish Hospital in St. Louis and work with ADHD students, children, and adults in the tri-state area and now pretty much across the country with coaching and pretty much accountability coaching and tweaking their care plan a bit to being optimal for each patient. So I've been doing that for the last couple of years as a result of the book.
Yeah, and you just have a natural gift for coaching and really for bringing out the best in people, starting with yourself, but then working with many others of all ages through the art of coaching. But we wanted for the next few minutes to focus on one of the really misunderstood areas related to the treatment of ADHD, which is medication. Both you and I, Kristin, favor an approach that says whatever works, as long as it's safe and it's legal. And, you know, my favorite intervention, I think, is yours as well, which is connection. And I wonder if you'd like to expand on that.
Absolutely. Well, it's like with any condition, with any medical condition, with a diabetic, not only are you doing insulin possibly or an oral hypoglycemic, you also do diet and exercise and follow through. So I think, as you always say, I start with sleep, diet, exercise, and general non-pharmacological interventions. But, you know, the kids and the students I work with that are taking the right medication, it is a game changer for them.
Yeah, and that story I hear in my office every week, many times over. When the meds work, they are as effective as eyeglasses. And when they don't work, or they cause side effects, you simply discontinue them. So it really should not be controversial. If they work and don't cause side effects, you say, that's great, let's continue them. If they don't work or they cause side effects, you say, okay, that didn't work, and you stop them. Yes, they should be given under close medical supervision. Yes, they are controlled substances. And yes, if you misuse them, they can be absolutely dangerous. The key is to work with a doctor who knows what he's doing and to take them under, or with a nurse specialist, to take them under close medical supervision.
And one thing you taught me early on when I began consulting with and working with and collaborating with physicians in my local area of the Midwest, when you said, why do sometimes people always write for 30 days? I mean, try a medicine for 5 if possible. And because you have a rapid, you can see if it's working quickly. You're not having to wait 30 to 60 days like you will with some antidepressants or other agents for other conditions not related to ADHD. So I think that's a great point because you do see dramatic effects and they usually happen very, very quickly with no side effects. And I think that that's important to note because I've worked with physicians who are actually doing that and if able, writing 4 or 5 days of a medication to see if it's working so the child isn't held hostage to something for 30 days.
Yeah, no, it's a wonderful point. You know, people with ADD don't like to wait. And these medications, you don't have to wait. They work right away. And another important point that most people don't know, addiction is way more common in people with ADHD.
Absolutely. Do you think that, I'm genuinely curious, do you think that's because they're not then self-medicating, turning to illicit substances, and then becoming addicted?
Oh, absolutely. By taking the correct medication, you are not then drawn to self-medicating with the wrong medication like alcohol or cocaine or Xanax or, heroin.
I tell parents that all the time, and they have a very hard time believing it until I can show them the data. But it's a fact that they will be less prone to tampering with self-medication. Marijuana is the biggest one around here, edibles and all that, wax and dab and everything, Xanax, bars, buses, all the nicknames. And that's really scary.
Well, before we go too far astray, the good news is medication used properly can really, really help people of any age. The 80-year-olds take the same medication that we prescribe for 8-year-olds, and when they work properly, they work like eyeglasses. And if they don't work or they cause side effects, all you have to do is stop taking them, and you're going to know within a matter of hours. Well, we're running out of time, and as always, it's wonderful to have you join me, Kristin.
Thanks, Ned.
Thank you so much. Okay, please remember to reach out to us with your questions and show ideas. We love them and make use of them. Our email address is connect@distractionpodcast.com. That's connect@distractionpodcast.com. And please leave us a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts if you like what you're hearing. We need those. We absolutely thrive because of those. Distraction is produced by Collisions, the podcast division of CRN International. Collisions, podcasts for curious people. Our audio engineer, Roman Zeitlin. And our producer is Sarah Gurton.